Hey guys, it's Mike Sherrard, aka the Purple Realtor, and I recently had a young lady from California reach out to me asking a few questions about door knocking and social media in real estate. So we jumped on a Zoom call, recorded it, and I figured I'd put it out there to see if it can bring any of you guys value and help take your business to the next level, like hopefully it will do for her. So let's get into it, check it out, and let me know if you guys have any comments, questions, anything I can do to help you. Please make sure to subscribe, and I can't wait to see how this goes. Cheers.
Kind of threw me off schedule. And I'm like halfway to the office and I'm like, you know what? I know there's a Starbucks off this exit. I'm not going to be late. I'm just going to pull over.
That's so awesome.
How are you?
Good, good. I'm actually just enjoying my last day home at Christmas, and then tomorrow I fly back to Calgary. So,
Where's home?
New Brunswick, so right above Maine.
Oh, okay. So you're like the coldest part,
Yeah,
the coldest parts of the country.
it's like minus 30 today, so it's
Oh my
lovely.
gosh. See, I don't think I've ever felt minus 30, but I'm from Illinois originally. So I know what minus anything feels like.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild. And where are you now? California?
Yeah, Sacramento.
That's awesome.
Yep, I've been here for about 2 years now.
Oh, no
Time
way.
time flies. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And then you just got into real estate when?
So I got into real estate. It's been a year, but I was working my full-time job, and I didn't quit my full-time job until October.
Okay.
So I was kind of like going through the motions of just trying to find whatever time I could to actually do real estate. And now I'm like fully in it and I have all the time in the world for it. So I need to just make my systems airtight so I can get more escrows and not forget about lead gen. So
Definitely. That's the toughest part I found is when you don't have another job or anything and it's just real estate, it's so hard to stay accountable because you have all the time in the world and you really can, instead of going door knocking, can just go to the gym, or you can just do marketing, or
right.
you forget about the stuff that actually drives business.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. What does your schedule usually look like in the morning? Like when you get up? I know you work out early,
Early,
but
yeah.
after that,
Yeah, so I usually get up. So by the time I've worked out and everything, it's about 7 a.m. And then between 7 and 8, before people usually get up, I start doing sort of, or I guess between 7 and 9, I'll do a couple power hours. So I'll do some market research and I'll do all my marketing and any sort of content related stuff for that day. So if I need to put out a new blog post or upload a new video or do some social media stuff, it's all between that 7 and 9 window where people are up and active.
right.
And then,
That's smart.
yeah, because most people don't start work until 9. So if you get all that media stuff done ahead of time, then after that, you can just focus on what actually gets business. So after 9 o'clock is when I start doing, if it's winter and it's too cold to door knock, I'll do my cold calling. And if it's in the summer, I'll go out usually around 10 and start doing door knocking.
Cool. Who do you use for your cold calling?
So I use something called Sales Dialers and Telelisting. And what I can do, Sales Dialers is kind of like Mojo Dialers. It's a 3-line dialer, and you can call 3 people at a time. That's awesome. And then with Telelisting, you can use like a little toggle tool and pick a certain neighborhood, and it'll pull all the numbers from that neighborhood.
Right. That's where you get your data from.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you're calling them, it has names, email, or not email, but Ames, phone address, and
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's kind of like what I'm using, except I'm only using a 1-line dialer right now. I use Vulcan 7.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
And they use Cole Realty
Okay.
to pull data from that. So I mean, it's okay. Like I get numbers. I haven't really seen a big return with that yet. It's just kind of like staying in it and just keep calling. I've been doing it, like I said, since I quit my job in April.
Okay.
No, not in April. I started dialing in April when I was like before I quit my job in October, so that I could
ramp up a bit.
ramp up. Yeah, but it hasn't turned into anything yet.
So when you're calling, what do you say? What's your intention?
So when I'm calling, for the most part, I have been using your script since I listened to your podcast, the one that you use for door knocking. I use that for dialing, and I get awesome feedback for CMA requests.
Yeah.
And so I'm just calling, getting CMAs, hoping that those will eventually turn into listings so I can add them to my pipeline and start following up with them. So I'm just calling them and letting them know that I've been busy in their neighborhood and people have been, looking for information on what their home is worth or what's going on in the market, and if they would be interested. Just, basically just using your script verbatim.
Yeah.
And I'm getting CMA requests from that. It just hasn't turned into listings yet. So I'm hoping that this year I'll start seeing some movement in that, because I'm doing, when I dial, if I call 100, 150 numbers, I'm getting at least 7 CMA requests from that one session. Yeah. So the pipeline is getting full. I needed to start converting now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's the next chapter, right? And I'm going to start putting out some really good videos about that soon, and just having those scripts to start sort of nudging people towards making those decisions, because a lot of the time you'll sort of get trapped in that situation that you're in, where you have all these people that are sitting on the fence and they're curious, but they're not taking action. And then the next step is just to get them to start making moves and sort of find ways to incentivize them, whether that's talking to a mortgage broker and finding out when the interest rates are going to go up. So then you can go back to those people that have the CMAs and say, listen, it's January right now. Interest rates are going to go up. They're forecast to go up around April. Right now would be a better time to start looking so that you can save $5,000 over the next 5 years by getting in at a lower interest rate. Little things like that. They start just nudging people, not being salesy, but just pushing them in the right direction.
From contribution, giving them some kind of value.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I need to start doing something like that, take it a step further, because right now it doesn't, I feel like I'm being salesy. I feel like I'm pushing. So I need to start doing things like that, sending them, because my lender, I have a couple lenders, and they send me information all the time, and it's already perfectly packaged. All I have to do is literally copy and paste it into an email to send over.
Perfect. Yeah, that's the best thing to do. Start providing them with content and show them fluctuate. If they're, find out when in your market are the best times to sell, and start pushing that out to them. Show them statistics on days on market for February versus June. And if it takes longer to sell it in June, maybe they'll start thinking of listing in February. There's different things you can do like that can really, as long as you're providing them with value that would be of interest and would help them, then it's not salesy, and it's just trying to help them, right? Because that's, a lot of people do get caught in that salesy mentality, and being realtors, we always get stuck with that stigma anyway.
Yeah. When you door knock versus when you dial, are you still providing the same information to the people that you come in contact with after door knocking once you get their contact information?
Definitely. So door knocking is really good, because you seem to be getting excellent results with calling, but for me, with calling is a little less up in here. So if in Calgary, there's no one that door knocks. So when you're the one of very few that door knocks, it takes people by surprise, but they really respect it. So the conversion is quite good. So usually once I door knock, I'll try to just get the email. Yes, if I can convert and get a CMA at some point, that's fantastic. But the main focus is just getting that email. And then I'll go home, send a really nice thank you message just for taking a moment to speak with me, pay them a couple quick compliments if they had a dog or a daughter or something like that I can touch on. And then I'll set them up with the market report. So every month they get the market report, and that's key, right? And I don't know if you guys...
Yeah, I don't. The only market reporting that I have is the information that I pull from MetroList. So do you have something that you pull the information and put it into, or do you literally just use that same sheet?
So our MLS system, the multiple listers, we have a tool on there that for each neighborhood in our city sends clients the sales data on that neighborhood, so
Mm.
that it shows average sale price, average days on market, what new listings came out, which have sold in the last 30 days, that kind of thing. So what's good about that is I can send that to the people that I door knock or cold call, and then
Okay.
every month they'll get a new message from me with the new information. And what happens is a lot of times people 4 or 5 months after I've door knocked them will come back and say, listen, Mike, we've been following the market reports. It's really great information. We see that the price is now up around where we would like to get. Now let's talk about doing a CMA and get this on the market. So
Got it.
it's just that automatic monthly reminder so that they don't forget you and they don't forget about real estate in general.
So you're not giving them anything that's specific to their house unless they request a CMA. It's just for that zip code.
Yeah, because I find that's the best way to do it, because then once they do reach out to you and say, listen, Bree, I want to know about my house, then you know they're very
serious.
Whereas if they're just going through the motions, and I can see how many times they've opened up the market report, when the last time they opened up is. So maybe if they've opened it up 3-4 times in 1 month, what I'll do is I'll message them and say, hey, John, I see that you've been quite interested in the real estate market in your neighborhood. You've been looking at the market report 3 or 4 times this month. I just wondered if you had any questions about your house or what plans you might have in the near future, and just start keeping in touch with them in a very open-hearted way, and just trying to see if they have any questions, not saying, hey, let's get it on the market.
Right. So do you have to set them up as a contact in the MLS and then send that report, or do you use a separate CRM where you just pull the report from the MLS and then you put them on a drip system to send that report?
So I just do it right off the MLS, but we do have another system that is an additional CRM. It's Boomtown. So
okay, that's what I used to.
Yeah, exactly. So that's honestly better. I'm just getting into that now because our brokerage started using that. So previously I wasn't using Boomtown. Now I'm going to be, but that's an excellent source because you can see what homes they've been looking at, price range, all kinds of stuff. And then that's where you start becoming less salesy, because you can say, again, listen, John, I see you've been looking at homes in this neighborhood at an average price point of 370. I just wanted to see, like, you can provide them with so much value when you're talking to them, so that they know you have a vested interest, that you're not just trying to make them make a move or make a purchase or a sale. They see that you've actually been looking diligently at what they're interested in, what they like, what they don't like. And when people know that you've taken the time to assess what they're interested in, that goes miles.
Yeah, I noticed I've had with Boomtown, I have to, with my internet leads, I have to reach out to them so many times before, like, the magic is truly in the follow-up.
Yeah.
Like, before I even get them to a point where they want to come to my office and meet with me or even look at houses, it's like 7 to 10 follow-ups before I get to that point. So it's usually like over a month and a half. I have one guy that's been in there for a year and a half, and he just finally responded back to an email.
Yeah.
He got forwarded over to me from another agent who had been working on him, and he wasn't responsive. And then I've been working on him, and now he's finally like, okay, well, I may be in the area. I'm like, that is better than silence.
Exactly.
So much better.
The magic, like you say, the magic truly is in the follow-up, and it takes so much time to nurse them. But when you're the one that doesn't give up on that, you're the one that gets the conversion. I remember I had to email someone 43 times after door knocking them, and I listed their home and sold it.
Wow.
Like, it's just little drips, and if they don't say no, then I just keep going. And then someday, you never know. You never know. They could be on vacation. They could have a death in the family. Maybe they're not responding for a good reason. People just assume that they just don't care. But there's always going to be that one person that just said, listen, like, I was too caught up in life, and now I'm ready to make a move.
Yeah. So your door knocking, do you have like a system that you're using for that? Like, do you have a farm, or do you just kind of go in and look to see what the activity has been in the last month or so of a neighborhood before you pick if you're going to go knock there?
Yeah. So usually down in my area where I live, it's about I'm going to say my quadrant. So I live in the southeast quadrant of Calgary, and
Mhm.
there's probably about, I'm going to say 50,000, 60,000 people in that quadrant, and there's multiple different neighborhoods in that area. So I kind of stick to that one quadrant because it's close to home and I know the area. I know all the shops and stores and restaurants. So
Mhm.
I'm quite knowledgeable about it. And usually I just pick any neighborhood in that one sort of quadrant that's been doing good with sales, quick sales, high, close to the list value, anything like that, and I'll go door knock them.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing too. Like, it's Sacramento is weird. It's split off by pockets, and like even within that neighborhood, there's another neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it's really tough because it's a street by street thing. So I've just kind of been taking like a radius like around where I live and
Yeah.
certain streets where I know. So like we have these little areas like Tahoe Park, Lamb Park, Curtis Park. They're called the parks is what I like to call them. So I just pick one of those areas and I just constantly just chip away at those areas. They don't move very often. A couple of them do, but some of them when they do move, like the price point is amazing. So I'm trying to get in there and be that agent for them. But yeah, there hasn't been too much of a method to it. I've just been kind of picking areas that have good movement within the city.
That is a good point because the southeast quadrant is one of the ones that has the highest turnover, and that's one of the reasons
Mm.
why I try and stay there because it's made up of two vastly different price points. There's a mid range, which is about 350 to $500,000, and
Mhm.
then there's if you go slightly south, all the homes are about 600 to 1.2 million. So
Mm.
all of the people get their first starter home in the upper neighborhoods
Yeah.
that are, and then once they're ready to graduate, they move down. So there's a lot of movement of people just staying in the same area but graduating to a different price point,
Yeah.
which is nice because they're turning high and they know their neighbors and they're able to put in good work for you. And with the car and the branding, and when you start running social media ads, if they've seen you door knocking and then they see your media ads after that, they start
Mhm.
building a bit of a reputation around yourself, right? So if you can start
Yeah.
being on Facebook, on Instagram, and maybe put out a couple of YouTube videos, and then people see you at the door, that starts building up your little local celebrity status.
Yeah. So when you're hitting the doors, like when you first started and you were kind of still getting used to your scripts and just staying in it and going every day, what was your feedback? Like, were you getting people that were opening the door? Were people just kind of like peeking out and they'll see you and not open, or they just open the door and say no soliciting or not interested? Like,
Yeah.
what was the feedback that you were getting?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. I pick certain neighborhoods again based on what I know the reception's going to be. So, for example, in the northeast of Calgary, it's a lot of um, brown families,
Hmm.
and they're not as receptive to white people because they love to work with people that is in
Yep.
their culture. So
Yep.
I completely respect that. So I stay away from that because I tried door knocking those areas and the
Hmm.
reception was aggressively not no to
Yeah.
put it nice, right? So now with the southeast and certain parts of western Calgary, it's a vast mixture of cultures, but it's usually younger families that are doing pretty good for themselves, and
Hmm.
they've got a great sense of community. So
Hmm.
those are the ones that if you can go into neighborhoods that you know it's maybe young families that are gonna either have kids and want to graduate, or they have a family and they need to get a bigger house, those are good. And because they're young families, they usually act quite well. The older people at times are grouchy and they have their moods, but
Hmm.
the younger middle-aged families are usually what I like to target because they are quite receptive, and you do get rejected now and then, but it's very soft, right?
Same. Yeah.
They'll open the door and they'll say, like, they'll listen to the speech and say, "Listen, I'm just not interested." And it's like, okay, thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it. But other times you will get a lot of interest because you're
Mhm.
targeting that demographic that does care, and if you're providing value, who wouldn't want to listen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Mine has been the same. There's like a suburb where my office actually is because that's where my team is, and everyone on my team does business in that area except for me, because when I door knock in those areas, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Like the way that the doors are opened, or people poke out and they'll see me and they don't open the door, like it's awkward.
Yeah.
So I've been targeting the area that I'm in because it is very diverse, and I work with a lot of young family, like first time homeowners or people who have owned a home and they're looking to move into like a little bit higher of a home. I haven't hit that mark where it's like over 800 yet, but it's usually they're moving out of a home that was maybe 400,000 to maybe a home that's like 6 or 7.
Awesome.
Like that. So I have been getting that. So I kind of stay in my area. So I was just curious to know, like, if you kind of feel that same thing too, because for me, it can get a little awkward at the door.
Definitely. And it also depends, I have a guy who's going to be working under me come this Sunday. So I'm launching my team on Sunday, and he's a new
Awesome.
agent.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thanks. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
But he was going to go door knock for the first time, and he was wondering what his approach should be. And he was talking to me about how his wife just made all these amazing Christmas treats. So I told him, instead of going to door knock for real estate, why don't you just go door knock, introduce yourself, say you're an agent that's working in the area, but tell them that if you're building up an email list to give free Christmas baking to. And you know what? Like, he went out and cleaned up. He got so many interested people because he didn't come with the attitude of, hey, I'm trying to help sell a home. He's like, hey, my name's Brad. I'm in your area. I just started in real estate, just trying to put my name out there so people can get a feel for who I am and know that I'm in the area. My wife does love baking. We know families like us are too busy to bake for themselves. So we wanted to help you guys out during the Christmas season and give you something, give you a treat. So by doing that, he made a great first impression. He switched the script on people and didn't come with that salesy mentality. It was completely unrelated, but gave them a sense of who he is and that he's not that typical agent. So if you, like what I'm doing this year, I'm sponsoring certain biking events. So I'm going out there and I'm going to be the guy who's flipping the burgers and passing out the hot dogs, and just finding warmer ways to maybe not focus so much on the real estate, but focus more on your personal brand. People, if they see you and they like you, they'll want to work with you. It doesn't matter what, if you're a car salesman, financial services, whatever, they'll want to work with you. It's just giving people a taste for who you are because you're a fun, likable person.
Yeah. And that's something that I'm working on. Moving here to an area that I didn't know anyone, and excuse me, and trying to get my name out there and like get involved with stuff has been the hardest thing. It's starting. I actually just got my first 2 referrals from church because I'm actually a lead in the kids ministry, and I've been doing that for the last year. And I see moms all the time, and they just start talking to me or about random things, and like I like nails and like fashion and that kind of stuff, and so they're always like, you always look so cute at church, or I like your nails. So we just like start talking naturally. So I finally got 2 referrals from that. We're going to be looking starting in March, one in March and one at the end of January. So getting them pre-approved right now, but it's just that getting over that hurdle of getting involved in something and actually being involved long enough where it doesn't look like you're just there to poach people for business.
100%. Yeah, like it'll start converting. But yeah, it's tapping into stuff like that, like if you're able to, I know for me, starting to get into, like, I'm launching a video series called Bourbon in Business, where every Friday I sit down with someone, just have a drink of scotch or an old fashioned, and chat with the local influencer about business. And it doesn't have to be related to their business. So what you can do by that is, like, maybe if your thing is nails and your thing is fashion, like, why don't you go out and start collaborating with some of these estheticians or fashionistas out there, like a local brand. What I'm doing is I'm actually doing a custom purple line of t-shirts with the most popular local brand in my city.
Oh,
so
cool.
If anyone sees, they all know the brand. If they ever see a purple version of that shirt, they're going to know either they've been featured on one of my videos or they're one of my clients. That's the only way you'll ever get a purple shirt, right? But by doing a video with my Bourbon in Business series, is very lighthearted because we're just having a drink of alcohol.
Mhm.
But by talking with these local influencers, when you upload the videos and talk with them and they share it, they're influencers for a reason. They're popular in your city for a reason, right? If you find a popular local person that does nails, my sister's all about that too. Or if you find someone that has a cool clothing store or their own apparel line, or they do fashion, anything like that, and they share it, they've got a huge influence over people, right? So if usually if you're doing a video with someone, you're doing a video with them because they like your personality, and if they have a huge demographic that follows them, they'll usually say, you know what, I like this person, and they're doing an introduction with someone else, and I'm probably going to like them too because they jive.
Now, when you sit down with them, because I've been thinking about doing something similar to that with the event called Brunching with Bree, because I love brunch too. It's
Yeah,
like for
like
me.
that's cool, that's fun.
So I wanted to do like a sit down with them at like a cool restaurant, because there's a ton of them all over the place here. And so I wanted to do something like that, but I'm not really sure like what the conversation looks like. Is it about business? Is it asking them questions? Because I have like a list of questions that I could potentially ask them. I just kind of been putting it together,
Yeah.
but should it go beyond that? 'Cause do people really want to see us sit and talk about their business only? You know, like they want to see us talk about other things.
Yeah, and the thing is like as savage as this sounds, no one really gives a fuck about real
About
estate,
exactly.
right? Like it's not sexy, it's not cool unless you're $1 million listing.
Right.
So what I do is I told people in my introduction that I'm releasing this week is that it's actually not going to be, I'm never going to talk real estate, and I'm not going to be talking about the person's business. So we're talking about a deeper topic that can actually relate to the general public. So I did a video with someone on my team who's also a real estate agent, but he was previously a firefighter and a fitness instructor, and I was previously an engineer. So our video topic was what sort of things did we learn in our past jobs that we translated into real estate to help us make us a better agent, right? So it's not business related. Or I have a guy who does financial planning for people and taxes and stuff, which isn't sexy, no one cares about, but he's got a very eccentric personality that people love and gravitate to. So what we're doing is we're doing a video on why it's so important to stay authentic and be true to yourself and not dumb your personality down for other people, right? So it's always a topic related to the person, but not necessarily their business, because you want to put out content that the general public would want to watch and would want to care about, right? So if you find a local influencer, find a neat way to spin that.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that, because I've been wanting to do something that it wasn't going to be a video. It was going to be just like a weekly feature on like my website or something like that. But then you would have to draw traffic to the website. So anyways, I can incorporate Instagram, because I'm trying to get that bigger, because that's my favorite thing. But anything that I can do with that and, leverage it, then that'll be awesome. So I'm still working on that, but I really like that idea that you're doing. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, even like for you, for fashion, like what I'm doing is I'm getting a new suit design. So I'm taking people through the journey of designing my suit. So I'm just going to take them to the studio and go through all the colors and the stitching and the this and the that, and show them what you have to go through to design a suit. And then I'm bringing on my other friend who owns an accessories company, menswear accessories, and just get them to talk about how to dress for certain professions and the importance of reflecting your personality through fashion and how it helps you in business, right? So it's not necessarily related to me, but it just helps anyone in life because it's just a general topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun to do too, because it's very open-ended and it's not salesy at all, and it taps you into these spheres. So too, when people Google the apparel company that I'm going to be doing a video with, well, when we add search engine optimization and Google AdWords to my video, then my video will come up when people search for their clothing. right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you can start leveraging their search history too to drive traffic to you. So
Yeah.
usually what I'll do is I'll upload the video to YouTube, and then I'll just create a 60-second snippet of the video and put it on Instagram and just say, hey guys, the link's in the bio, go check out the video on YouTube.
Do you edit that stuff yourself?
Yeah, because it's really easy. Like almost all my videos are one take. So I just chop off the end and add an intro and we're good to go.
Okay.
So it's really not that strenuous.
Yeah, because I've done editing with iMovie. That's
Yeah,
the easiest way for me.
yeah, that's what I do.
A huge learning curve.
Yeah, definitely.
I was gonna ask you something else. Shoot, what was it? Oh, do you use a professional to record you, or are you just kind of like using your phone or your own camera to do like a point of view so it doesn't look like you're staging it? It looks like more organic, that you're doing it yourself.
Yeah, so I have I just recently I was using my GoPro, which was kind of like the quality was kind of shit.
Yeah.
But I just got a really nice DSLR with a couple high quality 4K lenses, and I'll just set it up on a tripod and put it on. It has facial recognition, so it'll just make sure the faces are really clear. It blurs the background, so it gives it a really professional look. I just record them myself, and then I have an external microphone, so the sound is really good. And from there, it's quick and easy, right? Because if you have to rely on other people and stuff like that, it just gets tedious and frustrating.
Yeah.
So if you just bring your camera, set up a tripod, and go, you're set.
Yeah, that's one of the big things for me too, because and also like having the resources to pay somebody else too.
I know.
It's like to a certain point, it's pretty strenuous, and I just don't want to deal with that. So I need to invest in a really good camera, or at least get because right now I have an iPhone 7, so maybe get like an iPhone with a better camera and using that until it's better. Use like portrait mode or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I can. I'll send you the link for Amazon on the camera that I bought, and you can get them for the model below mine. You can get that for probably like 500 US.
Okay.
And then get a lens for maybe 200. So in US, $700 can get you like 4K, good to go, ready to rock.
Oh, cool. Are your guys' prices higher than ours then?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because our dollar's worth a lot less, so you guys get it pretty good.
So when you door knock, what are you giving them? I know you have, I saw your video where you give them like the bifold and it has information just about your company.
Yeah.
Do you get good feedback with that?
Yeah, it's not bad, and I'm actually switching it up. So I started doing some business with some, not directly with local builders, but bringing a lot of buyers to them, so I know what kind of new builds are in the area. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to put a bit of information about me and my team, but also put some call to actions about people if they want a list of a monthly list of foreclosures, or a monthly list of the newest builds coming to the area for condos, things like that. So some information that would actually be useful to people, and not just free home evaluations, because everyone knows you can get a free home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So providing a bit more value like that, and then I usually give them a business card, but you don't have to give them too much, because at the end of the day, if you have a good conversation and you get their email, you can start sending them stuff via email. Now, something that does go a long way that we started doing is video follow-up. So what
I do that too.
Yeah, so just 15, 30 seconds, something, but I do it after all of my first CMA. Right? So on the drive home, I'll just say, like, listen, thank you so much for allowing me to come to your home. It was such a pleasure meeting you and your family. You've got a gorgeous home. I can't wait to see how we can help you achieve your real estate dreams, right? And by providing that little video like 5 minutes after you just left the house, it's such a reminder.
Yeah, I like that. I don't do it for door knocking, but I will do it for, like, in Boomtown, if it's somebody that hasn't responded to me in a while, I'll send them a video like, know, like, hey, what's going on? Like, is there anything I can help you with? Like that kind of thing. Just sending a video. Sometimes I use like a cute little like Snapchat filter or something like that, just to make it light and fun, you know, with the voice changer or something.
Definitely.
But for the follow-ups for door knocking, I like that. I like that idea. That's
Definitely.
good.
Yeah, it's just keeping it personal, right? Any little difference that shows that you're not just trying to go door to door to make a bunch of sales, but you're actually trying to provide value to your area and care about the people you work with, that's what makes the biggest difference.
Yeah. Cool. That's, you know what? It's crazy though that you've only been in real estate, what, 9 months?
Yeah.
And you're killing it. Like talking to you doesn't seem like I'm talking to a fellow new agent. Like, it feels like I'm talking to somebody who's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's a long time coming, but I'm excited. So this year it's going to be intense. So
Yeah. How do you change your approach when you are going to a house that's I don't even know what you guys' price point looks like, but for us, like if 300,000 or below is like the lower end,
yep.
and then anything like above 6 is, you know, a little better, but then 1 million, of course, is going to be luxury. So how do you change your approach?
I don't change the approach, I just change the look.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I'm door knocking kind of 700 and below, that's kind of average, and I'll just wear either jeans or nice dress pants and a polo because it's summer and it's warm and it's pretty casual. And then if I go to sort of the 800 plus, I'll wear the dress pants, a t-shirt, but with a blazer, like sports jacket over top. So a little more clean cut, a little higher end, but still not suit, tie, none of that. I keep it a little more laid back because what I've noticed in Calgary, at least, is when you wear that suit and tie look, a lot of people think you might be from like a religious group, and the reception's really not good.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm the same way. I wear, either way, like just every day, like my casual go-to, just to like throw something on, is going to be like a nice V-neck, a blazer, and like a nice pair of jeans. If I'm not door knocking, I'll wear a pair of pumps or something. But if I'm door knocking, then I'll wear like a pair of like, not the athletic sneakers, but like the casual sneakers, if that makes sense, so I'm comfortable. But that's what I door knock in, period. So it's good to hear that you're doing that too, but I don't door knock in 800 plus areas yet.
It works the same. I was wondering, I was wondering if it would be any different. I just told myself sort of middle of the year, let's just go try it. And the reception is the exact same. And honestly, the higher you go, usually the better it gets, because people aren't as financially stressed. Usually if you're over $1 million, you know how to budget, you know how to make money, you know how to manage your money. So usually when they go to sell, they're not in a financial pinch. So if you have to take a slightly lower price, they can afford to do that. They're maybe in their second or third home, so they know the deal. And usually they're hardworking, so they respect someone who's door knocking. Whereas you get these people in the $500,000 range, and sometimes it's their first home, they realize they leverage themselves too much, they're in a bit of a financial pinch, and they're actually harder to work with because their numbers don't work.
Yeah.
So,
do you have you gotten any listings from door knocking yet, or have your listings that are in the higher end, have they just come from other places?
So exactly half of my listings across all price points have been from door knocking.
Wow. How long did it take you to get them converted?
The very first night I door knocked 2 homes that I converted.
I know, I remember that. I'm like, how did he do that?
Yeah.
It was the right time.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's
so awesome. It goes right away, and then a couple months later, I started door knocking a different region, and I got more listings from that. So it really works. And now that I have my team, it's going to be nice, because when you door knock, it's kind of lonely, right? Because you're out there, you're doing your thing by yourself. It's not the funnest. So now what we do with my team is 2 of us will just take opposite ends in the neighborhood, and we'll just say, once we hit our quota, let's go for a drink together, or coffee, or something a little relaxing. So it'll keep us motivated for each other.
Yeah, it's nice that you guys kind of have that standard or are going to, because I'm on a team. I don't have my own team, but I'm on one, and I'm one of the only ones on the team that door knocks, unless it's for like inviting people to an open house, in which case they'll hit like 50 doors or 30 doors, and that's it. I'm the
Yeah.
only one who's like actually out there, unless we have like an event where we want to invite the community to, then
Yeah.
they'll door knock. But that's it. So I'm usually the only one out there
Yeah.
by myself, so it's very lonely.
Definitely. Yeah. Right. So if you can find someone, find a partner, find someone from your team or anything, right? And even I've partnered up one time with someone that doesn't even door knock for real estate. They door knock for Vivint security systems, but they still door knock. So we would just say, you know what, you take one end, I'll take the other end. We'll go hit different parts of this neighborhood, and then we'll go meet up for lunch.
Hmm.
Right. So
Yeah, my lender door knocks with me, believe it or not. Sometimes
that's awesome.
I just met a new lender. I've been using the same person that my team have been using for the whole like this whole time, but then I met this other lender randomly, and our personalities just vibed, and she's like, oh, by the way, I door knock and I'll come to your open house and sit in your open house with you. I'm like, you will get in the trenches with me?
Love it. That's
and I
awesome.
and I loved it. And the first weekend that we held an open house together, we got somebody into contract like that next week.
That's amazing.
She was at my open house, like getting them pre-approved in one of the rooms in the back while
So sweet.
while I was holding the open house, and we had met them like the day before.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's awesome, and I appreciate people like that, because if I'm working just as hard and I'm going to be handing you business, I feel like you should be working for a little bit too.
Exactly. Yeah, there's all kinds of neat ways too to partner with lenders and start putting out different promotions and stuff, which I can talk to you about another time. But
Hmm.
there's some neat stuff you can do. So that's fantastic if you can partner with a good one and start sort of feeding off each other and bouncing that back and forth.
Yeah. Are you just under a brokerage, or so you're under a brokerage and then you're starting your own team?
Yeah.
That's awesome. How many people do you have so far?
So I have 3 working under me, and we're going to see what happens after that. I might be bringing on one guy mid-year, and
Hmm.
then in 2019, I want to bring on 2 other people. Now, I'm building my team in a way that I'm trying to make it a really good asset. So the 2 people I want to bring on in 2019, I want one to speak Mandarin and one to speak Arabic, so that we can tap into different cultural
Market, yeah, because they are very tight knit and they only like to work with their people.
Exactly, right. So, and then we have everyone on our team has vastly different personalities. So, and we have one girl, right? So, if you want to work with someone, we're gonna have someone on the team that's gonna be a good fit for you.
Hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. My team is it's kind of diverse a little bit. We only have one other person that speaks another language. But then I don't know, our personalities mesh pretty well together, I guess, but everyone's goal is ultimately having their own team, or most people's goal is to have their own team. Some people are comfortable with just being on a team where somebody's like feeding you leads and things like that, but eventually at some point I do want to be solo and have my own team.
Of course, we're doing actually something pretty neat too with this team. Yes, while I'm starting the team, we're sort of considering the other 3 the founding members. So the split is very, very lean. It's not even close to 50-50. It's extremely lean. So that way we're all sort of on par. Now, everyone I bring on after is going to have to pay a bigger split, because we're the ones that are building this foundation and building the brand up. So that way is a little bit more generous, because now we don't feel like I'm just sitting back and making 50% of these people's paychecks. It's we're all on the same level. We all make decisions together, and I'm door knocking just as much or likely more than all of them are going to be, even though I'm the one that started it.
Yeah, it's a partnership, just like law firms. They have partners that are, taking on responsibility, and then they have like junior partners underneath. So I like that.
Exactly.
And then it's easier to retain, like when you find good talent or people who are out there working just as hard as you, it's easier to retain them, because a lot of realtors have those free spirits where they, of course, want to work by themselves. So
of course.
That's good. That's cool. I'm excited to see
Yeah.
where it goes. I've been like, I can't even tell you how many times I listen to the podcast over and over again. I have like certain parts memorized.
That's fantastic. I love it.
But yeah, I thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, because I know this time is the most precious thing that we have, especially in real estate.
Definitely. No, I'm so glad you reached out, and like we talked about, whenever you start getting your new ideas rolled out and maybe doing your brunch thing, like let's talk and see how I can help you
Yeah.
in any way, and
Okay.
I'll gladly push your content out there too and help you grow any way that I can.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, I do have one more question for you.
Yeah.
Do you use Facebook?
I do.
You do? Okay. What do you do on it? Because I'm very much like, I'm borderline anti Facebook. It's
Yeah. So
not my thing.
it's a bit of a mix. It's a bit different than Instagram for sure. So usually what I do is, yes, I share my listings. I'll share some personal photos, lifestyle kind of thing. But more so what I use it for is informative business stuff. So I share all my blogs. I'll share interesting videos because it has that longer duration and you can put links.
Yeah.
I share a lot of information that is real estate related or business related that would be of interest to people.
Okay.
All my YouTube videos get shared there. All of the blogs that I write, or any blogs that I want to share, any information about the city that people would want to know about, that's what I kind of use Facebook for.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm in the process of trying to start building it up. I actually downloaded the Facebook app on my phone, because before I was just using the browser. So I'm like, I guess I'll start making some better steps toward it and fix my mindset when looking at Facebook. But I was just curious because I haven't looked at your Facebook page to even know if you're doing it or not. Because Instagram is my love.
Definitely.
Thing that I focus on the most. So, and I'm working to build that up in 2018 too. I have some things in the works that I want to start doing and focusing on. So
that's awesome. You're gonna crush it. It's an exciting new year, and I'm so pumped for everyone. Everyone's all fired up. So it's
I know. I know the new year brings beautiful things.
Definitely.
Fire that you just got to keep burning. So, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. It's almost been an hour. It's crazy.
Yeah. I know, right?
But thank you so much, and I'll start pushing your stuff on my Instagram, whatever I can help out with. I don't have as many followers as you, but
it'll come. Just be consistent.
Just let me know if there's stuff that you want to start sharing in the States and California. Let me know, because I'm gonna eventually be bursting into LA.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
Happy to share whatever I can.
Yeah, we'll help each other out, and don't be shy to ever reach out again, because I'm more than happy to get on the call and help you through these door knocking journeys.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. We'll be in touch.